Mewtwo, Celebi, Chatot. What do these Pokemon all have in common? They have all been banned at one point or another in competitive Pokemon. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would they ever ban a Pokemon as useless as Mewtwo? While I can't answer that, I can tell you about the unique set of circumstances that led to Chatot's ban. In competitive Pokemon, there's a rotating rule set, with some Pokemon being legal while others are banned. These formats can range from extremely narrow, like how in 2011 the only Pokemon allowed were from Generation 5, all the way to extremely broad, like our current format, which allows all Pokemon in the game to be used aside from select mythical Pokemon. What is rarer, however, is for a non-legendary Pokemon to be banned. Legendary Pokemon are normally banned for one of two reasons: because they are too powerful relative to the other Pokemon that are allowed, or because they're very difficult to get in-game. Chatot's ban was complex. It was banned from the GBU, the main manner of playing against other players in-game, from 2011 to 2013. Then in 2013, it was actually banned from official in-person events as well. Starting with Generation 6, Chatot finally left the ban list and was legal in tournaments again. Unfortunately, this caused no change in Chatot's usage. So what did Chatot do to be the only non-legendary Pokemon explicitly banned in Generation 5? Well, we actually have to go back to Generation 4, to the introduction of the Nintendo DS. Nintendo releases their new console, packed with a bunch of new features to enhance gameplay. The Nintendo DS came with a microphone, which you could use as a part of gameplay or to play with other people in certain games. I have this vivid memory of being a kid, and every year we'd go up to visit family in Massachusetts, which is an 8-hour drive. 8 hours was a long time for Kid Wolf. I had just gotten Nintendogs, and in order to actually train your dogs, you needed to speak commands into the microphone. I drove my parents crazy trying to teach my dogs to sit, a task made much more difficult by the ambient noises of the road outside our car. If my parents had known that the DS came with a microphone, I think they would have thought twice before getting me the system. Lots of games from this era wanted to make use of both the touchscreen and the microphone, and Pokemon is no exception. You might be wondering, what use could a microphone possibly have in Pokemon? And the answer is, not much. One of the only ways the microphone was useful had to do with Chatot's signature move, Chatter. In Generation 4, Chatter is a 65 base power flying move that has a chance to confuse the target. How much of a chance? Not so fast. Chatter normally would play Chatot's cry during the move animation. However, you could instead replace Chatot's cry with audio that you, the player, recorded. It's a fun little flair, but how much does it actually matter? Actually a lot. If you don't record a cry and instead use the default one, Chatter has a 1% chance to confuse. What if you did record a voice sample though? Surely that wouldn't affect the probability of Chatter confusing the target, right? Wrong! You stupid fool! You fell for the oldest trick in the book. If you're confused, now you know how Pokemon felt getting hit with Chatter. Chatter is more likely to confuse the target the louder your voice sample is. If you had a quiet voice recording, the chance remains at 1%. If you had a medium voice sample, the chance goes up to 11%. And if the game determined your voice sample was loud, you had a whopping 31% chance to confuse. This means that the optimal strategy for Chatter is literally to bellow into your DS's microphone. It's a good thing I didn't know about this in my childhood car ride. At this point, you probably think you figured it out. The reason Chatot was banned is surely because of the damage it did to the eardrums of its victims. Wrong again! My oldest book trick strikes twice. Before I reveal the true reason behind Chatot's ban, I'd like to ask you to subscribe. Currently, less than 1% of my viewers are subscribed, and I'd really love to get that number up. Also, this type of content is different than what I normally do, so if you'd like to see more of it, I'd really appreciate the support. While it was competitively optimal to make as much noise as possible during the recording, you could unfortunately do something more sinister. There's no auto mod when it comes to these voice samples, unlike with text. So you can say whatever foul things you want, such as, "Glacian is a well-balanced Pokemon," or, "I think Wolfey looks better without a beard." And poor Chatot will be forced to repeat it whenever it uses the move Chatter. "Glacian is a well-balanced Pokemon." Well, you can probably see how this could lead to problems for good old Uncle Pikachu. Imagine you buy your kid the new Pokemon game, only for them to expand their vocabulary quicker than you would have liked. It would be disastrous for brand image. Tears streaming down their face, the executives at Game Freak made the hardest decision they've ever had to make. Chatot had to go to jail. Technically, Chatot was not actually banned from the official tournaments in 2008, 2009, 2010, or 2012. There was no in-game matchmaking in Generation 4, so you could only play against people who you deliberately chose to link up with. So it also wasn't banned on Wi-Fi in the Gen 4 games. I think it's interesting that Chatot was only banned in VGC 13 and not VGC 12, which had a very similar rule set. The likely reason for this is that somebody realized it had been an oversight and corrected it. But I like to imagine that there was a top secret Chatot incident that Pokemon struck from the internet with all of their resources. Game Freak realized the potential danger of letting players manipulate Chatot's voice, and so starting with Generation 6, the ability to record voiceover for chatter was removed. To make extra sure something like this never happened again, Game Freak actually forced Nintendo to remove the microphone from the Nintendo Switch during development, just to be safe. And that's why Chatot was banned in competitive Pokemon. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos in this style, please consider subscribing. And if you have any feedback, I'd very much appreciate you leaving a comment. Thank you for watching.